Why do we call ourselves Redeemer International Church? Well, there are a few reasons. Let's look at the international aspect first. We want to be a church that attracts the nations of the world. In The Hague, there are many nations represented there, and we would love to see those nations coming into a church together. We want to be a church that when people look at us, they'll see something of heaven in different nationalities, different languages, different cultures getting together, but loving God and loving each other. The Hague has about half of its population being of foreign ethnicity. That means them or their parents are from outside of Holland. So what a great opportunity to be in an international city, gathering those international people to love God and serve God together. But we also want to have in our DNA as a church a heart for the nations. We don't want to be simply inward looking, simply a heart for The Hague or Holland, but to have a heart for the nations of the world. We would love as a church to play our part in planting churches, in supporting churches, and supporting people who are working in the nations of the world. We want to be giving generously to what God is doing around the world. So in our DNA, I want us to be an international church. But we want to be called Redeemer International Church because we want to define ourselves by our great Redeemer, Jesus. Jesus at one point redeemed our lives. In my life that happened, and in the lives of the team that's going to be planting this church, that's happened. Jesus is not just the Redeemer for us, but He's a Redeemer for all people that come to Him. And we want Jesus to be doing that in everything that we do as a church. We want Jesus to be rescuing people, redeeming people. We want Him to be redeeming culture. We want Him to be redeeming the city. We want God's redemptive power to be wonderfully visible in us as a church. In every school, in every neighborhood, in every workplace that people at Redeemer International Church go to, I want them to be a redeeming influence. Not just me. I think God wants that we would be a redeeming influence wherever we are in this great city. Redeemer International Church. May we live worthy of the name that we've been given.